No, this is the year of the last okay. ये स्कूल में समझ और ये वैसे तो वैसा नहीं है क्योंकि यहाँ पे आगे कुछ है तो 6 अंडर प्लस 2 इंटू ये तो यार ये वाला और अंडर 2 इंटू अंडर 2 इंटू ना 4 ये सेम है ये प्लस सीबी पता नहीं आता कि नहीं गुजर करेगा हाँ तो ऐश्वर्या पता नहीं आता कि सारे लोगों का अटेंशन इस तरफ खींच करता है
There is a door puller. Good evening. क्या हाल है? क्या होमवर्क था?
Question number 7 to 14. Question number 7 to 14.
Good. 7 to 14. But what what about the others? They must be on their way, right? Na? Show me your homework. Chapter is over. Evaporation. Just put this curtain this side so that क्या होगा? अरे उधर से नहीं उधर स्ट्रेट नहीं ये हो गया उधर पीछे और इसको आगे क्यों? हाँ गुड बस फिर से वैसा ये देखो ऊपर वाला सॉरी यार जैसे मेरा हाथ नहीं पहुंच रहा है इधर से खड़े हाँ बस थैंक यू ठीक है जो अंदर जरा कूलनेस आपके लिए अच्छा now evaporation homework you done good today we have to go for evaporation okay what is evaporation? Evaporation is actually what? A slow change of liquid into vapor at constant temperature. Okay. Come. Fine, huh? Come. How's your mother? She's fine now today? Yeah. She's at home or somewhere? Home only, huh? Relax, nothing to do. We are starting with evaporation. Okay, what is evaporation? Evaporation is nothing but a slow change of liquid into vapor, constant temperature from its surface. That means this is the surface now. What you can do, this experiment you can do in your house or in the class also. What you can do, you can take one bowl and in that you keep some amount of water. Fill it up till the brim. Keep in one of the corner of the class or in the shelf of that particular class, shelf in the sense near the window. Okay. Now, what is important over here is you take this particular vessel, okay, and in that fill up with water and keep it for example, let us say for a day. Next day you come again to school and let us say mark this particular level by a marker or something. Marker. Okay. Next day when you come, you find that this level of water will slightly has decreased. Yes or no? What must have happened? The molecules which are here on the top, here, they have actually what, for example, they're having more kinetic energy they are having more kinetic energy, ठीक है, than the molecules which are at the bottom. Yes or no? So what they do, or what they must have done, they must have taken the energy from the surrounding and must have escaped. Yes or no? क्यों चले गए? ये देखो यहाँ से गुल होते जा रहे हैं, ठीक है कि नहीं? What do you say? अब ये escaping of this liquid from the surface layer by layer is called as what? Is called as evaporation. Next day again you come, you find the level of this particular water has decreased further. क्यों? Right? Or you will find that some more molecules of this liquid are converting into vapor. And this process of converting liquid into vapor at room temperature from its surface or layer by layer is called as what? Evaporation. This evaporation depends upon certain factors. What are the factors? The first factor on which this evaporation depends is what? The intermolecular forces. ये molecule और ये molecule के बीच में, okay, there are some forces. अगर ये forces strong है तो क्या हो जाएगा? तो ये क्या होगा? Escaping थोड़ा difficult हो जाएगा. अगर ये weak है तो easily उन लोग अपना forces break करके चले जाएंगे. And not only among themselves, नीचे भी जो forces है वो भी weak है इन लोग के साथ. तो नीचे वाले layer है उन लोग तोड़ के चले जाते हैं. As people they say ना, move on. Well, बस मोबाइल इधर दे दीजिए. मोबाइल यू आर हैविंग, श्योर बैग में रख दे, नहीं तो उसको भी थोड़ा आराम करने दीजिए. वेयर इज योर मोबाइल? सेल फोन डेस्क के अंदर रखा है, वो तो दूसरा फोन जो डेस्क के अंदर रखा है उसको अंदर. वेयर इज इट? आप उसको बैग में आराम से शांति से रखें. तो आज वो अक्षय तृतीया तो आराम से किधर रख रहा है? रख दिया, बंद कर दिया. गुड. सो दैट क्या होगा, आपको भी कंसंट्रेशन यहाँ पे ज्यादा होगा और वो मोबाइल में भी कंसंट्रेशन ज्यादा होता है. थोड़ी देर के बाद मैसेजेस ज्यादा आएंगे तभी पढ़ लेना आराम से. नथिंग टू इट. नाउ व्हाट इज इंपॉर्टेंट ओवर हियर, दिस पर्टिकुलर फोर्सेस ओके आर वीक, सो एस्केपिंग इज हियर. नाउ you know, for example, in place of this you take acetone. Acetone आपने रख दिया इधर, ठीक है, फिर से उसको ब्रिम तक फिल किया, क्लासरूम में रखा. सवेरे 7 बजे when you come to your school, you will find that in that 12:45 it has become half or almost, I think so, total vanished. Why? Because this particular liquid acetone clear is more volatile. और खाली हो गया पूरा. एसीटोन मालूम है ना आपको? नेल पॉलिश रिमूवर. जैसे तुमने अपना रखा by 12:45, in fact before that recess में आप देखेंगे पूरा वेसल खाली हो गया. What is the reason? Here the forces of attraction between the particles are much more weaker. They leave the surface like anything. Okay, thank God water is not so much volatile. Otherwise, जैसे तुम पीने जा रहे हो पानी, सर उड़ गया पानी. Is it happening that way? Okay, पानी देखो कितना स्टेबल है, ये volatile नहीं है. तुम देख लो पानी को, जैसे पीने जा रहे हो, सर एक ग्लास का आधा हो गया. Tough job for the people to survive. Thank God, thank supernatural forces. कि पानी हम लोग को इतना वोलेटाइल नहीं मिले. कल को अगर एसीटोन जैसे लिक्विड हम लोग का लाइफ में आ गया तो इसे देखते देखते सर एक ग्लास पूरा पानी, और उसमें मालूम पड़ा कि सर इतना ही मिला. Like sometimes you are so thirsty and बॉटल में इतना ही पानी रखा है, राइट, और इतना पानी है जो not able to quench your thirst. So सोचो वाटर का लेवल इतना ज्यादा रहता है. नेक्स्ट डे तुम आओगे फिर थोड़ा पानी कम होगा, फिर नेक्स्ट डे आओगे, ऐसा करके let us say 8 days में पानी कम. Forget about the school, you put in the water in the pot, okay, because in the hot sun what happens, it remains for some time, but after that it goes. like जो नीचे प्लेट रखा रहता है pot के नीचे, पानी थोड़ी देर रहता है. आफ्टरनून या let us say for example 10-11 बजे तक रह जाओ, because nowadays the things are, it is a heat wave. Heat wave यानी because of factors. The first factor is what? The temperature at which the water is present. During summer temperature is high. टेम्परेचर अगर हाई रहेगा तो इवेपोरेशन आल्सो हाई, बिकॉज उसका प्रेशर भी हाई हो जाएगा. वेपर प्रेशर, इसको बोलते हैं लिक्विड प्रेशर. इसको बाहर जाने का जो प्रेशर है वो ज्यादा हो जाएगा. सर आई वांट टू गो आउट, व्हाई? बाहर अंदर बहुत गर्मी लग रहा है. Like sometimes when there is no light, I want to just drive my car. Okay, and why? Because the car is having AC. So लोग बोलते चलो गाड़ी में जरा घूम के आते because अंदर तो पूरा एकदम लाइट नहीं है. We are suffocating. So we escape. या फिर गाड़ी भी नहीं है तो जरा घूम के आते गार्डन में. Why? Because we feel cooler. Okay, so that is the idea. So escaping is because of temperature. The same thing doesn't happen in winter. Why? Winter में पानी ठंडा रहता है. Temperature बाहर का surrounding temperature is lower. Yes or no? तो इतना evaporation नहीं होता. इतना प्यास भी नहीं लगता है आपको ना, because evaporation भी कम हो जा रहा है आपको, sweat भी कम हो जाता है. तो इसीलिए पानी का आपको प्यास कब लगता है? समर में. Okay. Second point, it also depends upon what, children? Depends upon surface area. राइट. जितना सरफेस एरिया, जितना वो माउथ खुला रहेगा उसका, वो वेसल का, ठीक है. ये सॉसर है, ये कप है. सपोज कप में मम्मी ने चाय दिया तुमको, कॉफी दिया, इट्स वेरी सिजलिंग हॉट, बट यू आर नॉट एबल टू ड्रिंक. व्हाई? बिकॉज इट इज सरफेस एरिया इज लेस. तो तुम क्या करते हो? प्लेट में डाल के पानी. ये सब लोग बोलते हैं एटिकेट है कि नहीं तुम्हारा, मैनरिज्म है कि? अरे यू आर यूजिंग इवेपोरेशन टेक्निक. तुमने देखा होगा वर्कर्स लोग कैसे पानी पीते हैं ऐसा. इससे क्यों? हाथ से क्या सरफेस एरिया जाता है, बॉटल में अच्छी तरह क्वेंच नहीं तो बोले अरे इल मैनर्ड बिहेवियर. सो इल मैनर्ड, इट इज बिकॉज यू आर कनेक्टिंग योर नेचुरल सोर्सेस विद योर हैंड. हैंड से पानी का टेस्ट अलग होता है. जैसे पीपल दे से हैव योर फूड विद योर हैंड, बिकॉज डायरेक्टली देयर इज अ कनेक्टिविटी बिटवीन योर माउथ एंड योर ओन बॉडी पार्ट, एंड एज अ रिजल्ट यू फील टेस्टी फूड. कोई चम्मच से हो तो तुमने कट कर दिया उसका जो नेचुरल काइंड ऑफ सोर्सेस. दैट इज अ स्मॉल थिंग, बट लाइक पीपल हैव से हाइजीनिक. सर अपना हैंड भी तो वॉश करके हम लोग हाइजीनिक ही बनाते हैं, ठीक है ना. ओके, तो बेसिकली व्हाट इज इंपॉर्टेंट, तो जल्दी मम्मी को अरे मुझे स्कूल भी जाना है मम्मी, आई हैव टू गो टू माय स्कूल, लेट मी एक्चुअली व्हाट pour this tea in this. फिर सुड़ुक सुड़ुक करके तुम चाय पीते हो, राइट ना. और उसके पहले तुम क्या करते हो? फूंक मारो. क्यों? विंड वेलोसिटी. अगर सपोज फॉर एग्जांपल आपका खाना गरम रखा है, मैगी रखा है इधर, ठीक है ना, और इट्स वेरी हॉट, बट यू आर गेटिंग रेडी फॉर द स्कूल. इन द मीन टाइम यू आर गेटिंग रेडी एंड मैगी ठंडा हो रहा है, इट्स केप्ट अंडर द फैन, मे बी सीलिंग फैन और मे बी फॉर एग्जांपल द विंडो फैन और वॉल फैन. व्हाई? विंड वेलोसिटी से क्या होगा? एज यू एक्चुअली व्हाट, फॉर एग्जांपल दिस इज द लिक्विड एंड यू ब्लो द विंड, clear, what will happen? The surface of that liquid will be, or that material will be cooler, and you will be able to. Something sign here. Okay, so this is wind velocity, surface area. Second, third is what? Wind velocity, right now. Let us say for example tomorrow is your, for example, some PT exercise, PT exam, and your school has given one more uniform for PT, mass PT, right now, or some kind of drill. तो अब वो अपना वो वॉशिंग में गया है, वॉशिंग में गया तो क्या करेंगे? ओके, उसको हम लोग को धो के रात को ऊपर रखना पड़ेगा. मॉर्निंग 7 o'clock you do actually what, reach the examination hall, sorry examination ground, जहाँ पे एग्जाम होगा. रनिंग करना पड़ेगा with the track pant and let us say for example jersey or t-shirt whatever, ठीक है. तो वहां पे क्या करना है? तो immediately under the fan you put the full speed fan, ठीक है, and then that particular clothes will dry up. Moreover, in surface area also what happens? We actually what, spread out the wet clothes. Why? Because more exposure of surface, so the wet clothes will become dry faster. Yes or no? Wind velocity, surface area. Fourth is what, children? Humidity. During rainy season, humidity is what? More, na? So more humidity, less evaporation. Yes or no? Wind velocity, more evaporation, more. Yes or no? More surface area, evaporation, more. Right now? Why summer? And moreover, the most important property of, for example, evaporation is what? Okay, that evaporation is what type of process? When the liquid changes into vapor, okay, it absorbs heat, children. So what is evaporation? Evaporation is endothermic process or exothermic. Evaporation heat absorb करेगा कि heat evolve करेगा? हाँ? Endo means heat is absorbed. क्यों? It is an endothermic process. That's why we feel cooler, na? You put some acetone on your palm, it absorbs the heat of the palm and your palm becomes cooler. What is the reason? Why? When you put sanitizer, what happens? It cools down your palm basically. Why? It absorbs heat from the sun. Forget about that. When you take bath and then you come, okay, without wiping your hands, suppose some droplets of water are there. Under the fan, when you stand, you feel shivering, na? Especially in the cold. What do you do? Immediately wipe off. Otherwise, you off the fan. What is happening? वो जो body से अपना body heat लेके वो water evaporate. After let us say within few minutes, your hands become dry, free from that moisture. I mean, large amount of small, big droplets of water vanish away, but your body becomes cool. That's why in this summer, people they take bath 2 times. अभी आप रात को जब जाएंगे तो you will take again. Why? So much of heat absorb हो गया तुम्हारा. So you tend to take bath. Why? Because otherwise what will happen? वो क्या होता है? Itching sensation आ जाता है. क्या बोलते हैं? घमोरी आ जाता है ना? What is that घमोरी? Small boils यहाँ पे आ जाते हैं क्योंकि गले में like you wear some, for example, some kind of clothes which are very much itchy. Okay, so you have to wear loose summer clothes, especially this summer. Okay, that's why one more important thing. Okay, in summer, why people they wear cotton clothes? It is because in summer what happens? We sweat more, and when we sweat more, what happens? Water absorbs the sweat on the clothes, and what happens? Small meshes are there, small holes are there. From that, water evaporates, and when it evaporates, what it provides? Cooling effect. And cotton clothes अपने body में cooling effect लाता है, evaporation process. That's why you don't wear, for example, some nylon, terline kind of clothes. For example, summer, yes, synthetic clothes. उनको cotton clothes पहनना है, ठीक है? Cotton क्या करेगा? Absorb करेगा पूरा sweat और बाहर निकाल देगा. Likewise, we have to always drink water from the pot, our earthen pot, Indian pot, very famous outside also. कैसे? क्यों? क्योंकि this earthen pot is what? Porous. ठीक है ना? इसका जो आउटर सरफेस अगर आप देखेंगे, आपको मट्टी का घड़ा लेना पड़ेगा. ठीक है? ये मट्टी का घड़ा में क्या रहता है? एक स्पेशल थिंग है. मट्टी का क्या है? स्मॉल होल्स, गैप्स आर देयर, yes or no? और पानी इसमें है. Now what actually happens? Water goes out, for example, through these small holes, just passes out, yes or no? And due to by absorbing, for example, heat, they go out in the form of vapor. Right now? And because they are absorbing this, heat is absorbed in this water cools down. आपको ये स्टील बॉटल से इतना मजा नहीं आएगा पानी पीने में जितना आपको मटके से पानी पीने. क्यों? पूरा हीट absorb करके पानी ठंडा हो गया. एंडोथर्मिक प्रोसेस. और आप देखेंगे तो मटके के साइड आप बाहर जैसे टच करेंगे तो थोड़ा आपको लिक्विड, अगर इफ इट्स अ गुड पोरस काइंड ऑफ मटका, then you will find some wetness on your hand. Right now, yeah, फिर at least यहाँ पे wetness आप करेंगे. Okay, और ठंडा रहेगा. That's why people are always bringing what मटका in the summer. Refrigerated पानी का people they say, अरे सर गला खराब हो जाता है. Best water. Not at below room temperature मिलेगा. Evaporation process. ठीक है? ये अपना evaporation का concept हो गया. चलो रीड करते हैं. कौन रीड करेगा? सब लोग एक लाइन रीड करेंगे, एक 2 लाइन. From which page? पढ़िए. Evaporation. Page number
4. Water, when left uncovered, slowly changes into vapor when clothes dry. How? Particles of matter are always moving and are never at rest. At a given temperature in any gas, liquid or solid, there are particles with different amount of kinetic energy.
yes. पढ़िए. आगे पूरा पैराग्राफ पढ़िए.
Small fraction of particles at the surface having higher kinetic energy is able to break away from the forces of attraction
Yes.
of other particles and gets converted into vapor. This phenomena of change of liquid into vapor at any temperature below its boiling point is called evaporation.
Yes, very good. Next one. What do you have? पूरा bracket. Then factors.
Factors affecting evaporation. The rate of evaporation increases with an increase of surface area.
Yes.
Evaporation is a surface phenomenon. If the surface area is increased, the rate of evaporation increases. For example, while putting clothes for drying, we spread them out.
Yes.
And an increase of temperature. With the increase of temperature, more number of particles get enough kinetic energy to go into the vapor. vapor. A decrease in humidity. Humidity is the amount of water vapor present in air. The air around us cannot hold more than a definite amount of water vapor at a given temperature. If the amount of water in air is already high, the rate of evaporation decreases. And
Yes.
increase in wind speed.
Wind speed आपको increase करना है. Come on. That's why you actually want blow air, na? But, like for example, you are having some kind of hot Maggi. Food मार के फिर उसको right ना, or you are taking it with a spoon also. Okay, you actually what blow the air. तो उससे क्या होगा जो ऊपर का जो kinetic energy which is very high will leave the surface, and Maggi will become little bit warmer, less hotter it is.
Clothes dry faster on a
Especially किसका आपको ये chip जल जाते हैं soup पीने में, right ना? And that's why we have, for example, Chinese soups का spoon थोड़ा broader रहता है ना. अपना जो normal चम्मच जब steel रहेगा तो steel को तो गर्म हो जाएगा. इसीलिए they give you that normal plastic चम्मच. Plastic चम्मच से क्या होगा? आपको heat भी लगेगा नहीं और plus उसका surface area ज़्यादा है spoon का. Come on, then.
Clothes dry faster on a windy. With
Yes.
the increase in wind speed, the particles of water vapor moves up,
Good.
increasing the amount of water vapor in the surroundings.
What do you?
Evaporation causes cooling. In an open vessel, the liquid keeps on evaporating. The particles of liquid absorb energy from the surrounding. They gain the energy lost during the evaporation.
Good.
This is absorption of energy from the surroundings to make the surroundings cool. When you pour some air towards me or the sugar or your mouth, the particles gain energy from your mouth or surroundings and evaporate causing the ground to be. After a hot city, people sprinkle water on the river or open ground because the large water section of water helps to cool the hot surface. We wear cotton clothes in summer.
बस एक मिनट इनको पढ़ना नहीं उनको पढ़ना पढ़िए.
During summer, we perspire more with the mechanism of our body which keeps us cool.
Very good.
During evaporation is a particle concentration from the liquid and it the surroundings or body surface and change it to make. The heat energy equal to the squeezing speed of vapor is absorbed from the body and makes the body cool. Water needs a good absorber of water helps in absorbing the sweat and exposing it to the atmosphere creating the evaporation.
Good.
Water droplets on the outer surface of the glass containing ice cold. The water vapor present in air when comes in contact with the whole glass of water is this energy and gets converted to liquid state which we say as water.
ये अच्छा पढ़ा हो गया है so okay computer now he did not get an opportunity तो अभी यहाँ पे activities are lined up for you all ठीक है. How to do the activities उसमें aim है apparatus है chemicals है procedure है and then what observation and conclusion. So one activity each child will actually refer or read ठीक है. Earlier I used to tell them to plan out at home and bring it but nowadays at the stretch हम लोग complete कर देते ठीक है. इसमें क्या नाम है आपका? हाँ Smith SMITH ना हाँ अच्छा Smith then Rucha yes RUCHA next Advika right Advika आप activity 1.3 पढ़ेंगे. Then Gauri yes Gauri activity 1.4 1.5 क्या नाम है आपका? Aishwarya yes Aishwarya you will go for spelling is right बराबर okay. Then अब कोई स्टूडेंट नहीं है तो क्या करते हैं वो जब स्टूडेंट एक्टिविटी ज्यादा है तो they will go for bonus 1.6 1.7 1.8 1.9 0.10 1.1 इधर नहीं है ना हाँ तो यहाँ पे 1.6 ठीक है. ये सब क्या करेंगे और फिर इनको बोनस मिलेगा स्मिथ को क्योंकि अभी इन्होंने पढ़ा नहीं राइट ना. इन्होंने एक पैराग्राफ नहीं पढ़ा ना तो उनको एक बोनस मिलेगा और एक डबल बोनस ओके. यू विल गेट वन इंपॉर्टेंट ऑफर. चलो नाउ फर्स्ट स्मिथ क्या करना है आपको? हाँ
Aim. To show that matter is made up of particles. Apparatus and chemicals. 100 ml water, salt or sugar, glass rod, beaker. Procedure. Fill half the beaker with water and mark the level of water. Dissolve some salt or sugar with the help of a glass rod. Observation. We observe no change in the water level. Conclusion. We conclude that matter is made up of particles. Salt or sugar has not spread throughout the water, occupying intermolecular spaces between water molecules.
Activity.
1.2.
Yeah. Rucha, what do you?
Aim to show that particles of matter are small. Apparatus and chemicals. 5 equals 2 to 3 crystals of potassium permanganate.
Permanganate. What is the formula of potassium permanganate? K1O4. What do you?
Take 2 to 3 crystals of potassium permanganate and dissolve them in 100 milliliter of water. Take out approximately 10 ml of the solution and put it into 90 ml of clear water.
Very good.
Take out 10 ml of the solution and put it into another 90 ml of clear water. Keep diluting the solution like these 5 times. Observation. We observe that the crystals of potassium permanganate colored a large amount of water. Conclusion. So we conclude that there are millions of enzymes in just one crystal of potassium permanganate, which keep on dividing themselves into smaller and smaller particles.
Very good. Chalo.
Activity 1.3.
1.3. Advika, what do you?
To show that particles of matter are continuously moving.
Yes.
Apparatus and chemicals.
Apparatus.
Apparatus and chemicals. Incense stick.
Incense sticks with what? Zero there, na? Chalo.
Matches. Procedure. Put the incense stick in the corner of the room and light it. Observation. We get the smell of the incense even though we are sitting far away from it. Conclusion. This is because particles of matter are continuously moving. Activity 1.3b.
Yes.
To show that particles of matter are continuously moving.
Yes. Very simple language. Okay. Then
2 beakers,
2
water,
beakers. Then
water, drop of blue or red ink,
yes. Honey. इसमें क्या करना पड़ेगा आपको? Water you will take. What do you?
Procedure. Take 2 glasses or beakers.
You can do this experiment at home also. Okay. 2 glass आपको पानी का ले रहे हैं. Transparent glass. Then further.
Put a drop of blue or red ink slowly.
ज़्यादा पानी मत कीजिए क्योंकि wastage of water will take place. Then
Carefully along sides of the first beaker and honey in the same way in second beaker.
yes.
Leave them undisturbed in your house or in a corner of the class.
Yes.
Observation. Particles of matter continuously moving.
So ink will spread out continuously. Or today they want the whole liquid water will become, the vessel will become blue or red. And with honey, then it will actually what become brownish, light brown. Isn't it? First it will settle down and then it start moving around. थोड़ा stir करना है तो कर सकते हैं initially. But after that, once you stir, after that stop. So it will be much faster. Otherwise not required. अपने आप वो move करें. That is particles are continuously moving. Yes or no?
They possess what we call conductivity.
Yes.
So what is the first beaker gets colored blue or red, and honey in the second beaker spreads throughout the bulk of water in the beaker.
Yes.
Conclusion. This shows that particles of matter are continuously moving. Particles of matter intermix on their own with each other. They do so by getting into smaller spaces between the particles. This intermixing of particles of 2 different types of matter on their own is called diffusion. On heating, diffusion becomes faster.
Good. Next one.
Activity 1.8. To show that particles of matter are continuously moving and their movement increases with increase in temperature. Apparatus and chemicals. A crystal of copper sulfate or potassium permanganate. A glass of hot water. A glass of cold water. Procedure. Drop a crystal of copper sulfate into a glass of hot water and a crystal of potassium permanganate into a glass of cold water. Do not stir the solution. Allow the crystals to settle at the bottom. Observation. Particles of matter are continuously moving and their movement increases with increasing temperature. Particles possess kinetic energy, which increases as temperature increases. Particles of matter intermix. This is called diffusion, which increases with temperature. So, particles of copper sulfate diffuse very fast and easily in the beaker of hot water. And the water became blue like ice. But in the cold water, beaker potassium permanently diffused very slowly. Conclusion. Particles of matters are continuously moving, and their movement increases with increasing temperature.
Temperature. ये आपको hot water डालेंगे तो जल्दी dissolve हो जाएगा या move करेगा. Yes or no? Okay, but when it's cold water, it moves slowly. It will move, but it will move slowly. That's why when you put sugar in cold water, what happens? It moves just continuously. But when it is actually warm water, just pour this drink, sugar gets dissolved completely. Just like when you prepare a cup of tea. राइट आप शुगर डालिए देखिए जल्दी से जल्दी शुगर डिसॉल्व होगा नीचे जो शुगर का पार्टिकल्स है बहुत ही फास्ट कम होता जाएगा साइज और वही कोल्ड वाटर में डालेंगे आप टेक सम टाइम ओके कम ऑन नेक्स्ट वन ऐश्वर्या पढ़िए यस
These four groups and four moving chains as suggested. The first group can hold each other to the back and help arm fit moving. The second group should hold hands to forward movement.
Do you dancing you know na do you dancing so then
The third group should form a chain by helping each other to hold their fingers. Now the fourth group should run around and try to
this you can try in your school also isn't it try किया आपने स्कूल में किया ना when
By explaining, she told.
yes so that is the way we can go for you know few dancers will stand this way here they will entangle their hands right and finally second will be actually what holding their hands in this manner second group third will be holding the hand in this manner they're just touching the finger okay and this fourth group will break this separate these hands this one the few dancers will do for example entanglement the ones which are actually entangled by the new dancer will be maximum. उसको break करना पड़ेगा. चलो.
The fourth group of students should run around and try to breathe the three human teeth one by one into as many small groups as possible.
Very good.
Observation. If we consider each student as a particle of matter, the particles of matter have a force acting between them. This force keeps the particles together. The strength of this force of attraction varies from one place to another, from one kind of matter to another. They were unable to break the first chain equally. They were able to break the second chain equally. The third chain will accomplish that. Particles of matter attract each other.
Yes. 1.5b है क्या उसमें? आप पढ़िए.
This shows that particles of matter attract each other. A fire is examples. Iron nails will be soft and reductive. Try breaking them by hammering, cutting, or stretching. Observation. It is very difficult to separate the particles of iron. Particles of matter have force acting between them. This force keeps the particles together. The strength of this force of attraction varies from one kind of matter to another. Because eating and break a piece of chalk is very easily built around that by stretching it to a great extent. We wanted to last. Conclusion. Particles of matter attract each other. It is shown that particles of matter attract each other. Procedure. Procedure. Open the water tap. Try raising the stream of water into the observation. It is not possible to separate the particles of water yet the stream of water remaining together. Particles of matter are particles actively. This force keeps the particles together. The short force of attraction creates from one point of matter to another.
Force of attraction is there. What is it? Over 1.5c is there.
That is
See, I tell you the word right. So particles of water are actually what continuously having attractive force. How when you drink water, it continuously, right? Now, चलिए कि पानी के लिए अब तो बोला अरे आजा आजा correct or not? What is that? Because water continuously क्यों move कर रहा है? Because one particle is having an attraction with the other. That's why you are able to drink water continuously. Now 1.6 Smith फिर से तुम्हारा turn आ गया. बोलिए.
Aim.
Where is the other partner? Absent as? क्या नाम है उसका? हाँ चैतन्य किधर है चैतन्य? चलो पढ़ो.
Aim. To show that matter exists in a solid state.
हाँ.
Materials required: a pen, a book, a needle, and a piece of wooden string. Procedure: sketch the shape of the upper particles in your notebooks by moving a pencil around them. Observation: you observe that all these have a definite shape, distinct boundaries, and a fixed volume. If we hammer, pull, or drop them, they are likely to change their shape. If we compress them, they have negligible compressibility. They have a tendency to maintain their shape when subjected to outside force, and may break under force, but it is difficult to change their shape, so they are rigid. Conclusion: solid matter has a definite shape, distinct boundaries, and a fixed volume. They may break under force, but it is difficult to change their shape, so they are rigid.
Yes. Next one.
Activity 1.7. To show that matter exists in a liquid state. Apparatus and chemicals: water, cooking oil, cooking oil, various juice, a cold drink, and meters of liquid. Measure cylinder. Procedure: put up 50 ml wine containing and measure 50 ml of any molecule and transfer it into different containers one by one. Syringe: we observe liquid and no fixed shape, but have a big volume. Then take up the shape of the container in which they are kept. Liquids flow and change their shape, so they are not rigid. It can be followed to it. Conclusion: this shows that matter exists in a liquid state.
Yes, matter exists in liquid state. What is happening? We put these liquid in different containers. They change the shape, but the volume remains same. So next one,
Activity
आपने पढ़ लिया. अद्विका पढ़ी.
Activity 1.8. To show that matter exists in a gaseous state.
Gaseous state. Liquid का हो गया भी gaseous का. चलो बोलिए.
About 300 ml syringe. Double box. Procedure: take 300.
You have seen the doctor syringe ना, जो इंजेक्शन मारते हैं वो syringe रहता है और उसके पीछे पिस्टन. पिस्टन को निकालना है आपको, जैसे ये पिस्टन है और इसके अंदर आप क्या भरेंगे? पहले air. It's, for example, keep it empty. Put the syringe properly. The second time, what you do? Second syringe, you will put some amount of liquid and then just close it. Piston will go inside. But how will you put the piston? Piston कैसे डालते हैं? For example, थोड़ा Vaseline लगा के फिर piston so that friction will be less. And then after that, the third will be chalk. So particles of chalk to be इसमें भर दो. ठीक है? Of course, you will not have needle in all those things. ठीक है? Small hole is there here. Yeah. And then you try to press it. When you press it, the air, if it is empty, then you can compress it, right? But in the case of liquid, little bit compression will be there. Okay, very little. And when in the case of chalk, you are not able to compress at all. Come on.
Take 300 ml syringe and use the nozzles.
Syringe is shown in the next page. The same page में दिखा है. Same page. हाँ, चलो.
Remove the piston from all the syringe. Leave one syringe untouched. Fill water in the second and piece of chalk in the third. Insert the piston back into the syringe. Apply some Vaseline on the piston before inserting them into the syringe for the smooth movement. Now try to compress the content by pushing the piston in each syringe. Observation: we observe that the gases are highly compressible due to their high compressibility. Due to high compressibility, large volume of gases can be compressed into small cylinder and transported easily.
Yes.
Hence we could compress the gas in the first syringe easily with a little force, but it was not easy to compress the chalk in the third syringe. Conclusion: this shows that matter exists in gaseous state and the gases are highly compressible.
Activity 1.9. A. To show the effect of change, increase of temperature on matter. Apparatus and chemicals. 150 grams of ice in a beaker. Thermometer, bulb. Procedure: Take about 150 grams of ice in a beaker and suspend the thermometer so that its bulb is in contact with the ice. Start heating the beaker on low flame. Note the temperature when ice starts melting. Note the temperature when all the ice has converted into water. Record your observations for this conversion of solid to liquid state. Now, put a glass rod in the beaker and heat while stirring till the water starts boiling. Keep a careful eye on the thermometer reading till most of the water has vaporized. Record your observations for the conversion of water in the liquid state to the gaseous state. Observation. On increasing the temperature of solids, the kinetic energy of the particles increases. Due to the increase in kinetic energy, the particles start vibrating with great speed. The energy supplied by heat overcomes the forces of attraction between the particles. The particles leave their fixed positions and start moving more freely. Now the solid melts and is converted into a liquid.
Yes.
The temperature at which solids melts to become liquid and the atmospheric pressure is called as melting point. When we supply heat energy to water, particles start moving even faster. At a certain rate, at a certain temperature, a point is reached when the particles have enough energy to break free from the forces of attraction of each particle.
Yes.
At this temperature, the liquid starts changing into gas. The temperature at which a liquid starts boiling at the atmospheric pressure is known as its boiling point. Conclusion. Solids are heated, turns into liquids, and liquids are heated, turns into vapor.
Very good. Next one, Aishwarya Abule, 1.10.
To show the solution of ammonium chloride comparison of geometries. Camphor or ammonium chloride, china dish, funnel, form, burner. Procedure. Take some camphor or ammonium chloride. Brush it and put it into the liquid in a china dish. Put the inverted funnel over the china dish.
Yeah, can you see the diagram? Inverted funnel rakha hai, and you have kept in the watch glass, small glass plate, you can say, you have kept some ammonium chloride. Right? Na? That salt rakha hai na, which is supplying. And then,
Put a cotton plug on the stem of the funnel.
yeah, you can see the cotton plug on the top of the funnel over there. Then,
Now heat slowly and observe.
yes,
Observation. A change of state of camphor or ammonium chloride directly from solid to gas production in liquid state is observed.
yes. ये देखो, यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है? This particular camphor which is there or whatever ammonium chloride, ठीक है ना? तो यहाँ पे अपना cotton plug है, yes or no? ठीक है? And when you are heating it, यहाँ पे of course this is something which is kept over here, and then you are heating it in, just some amount of liquid is there, and when you are heating it on the gas burner, you find that because of heat, this particular camphor or is supplied, and then it actually what gets condensed in the cooler part of that funnel. Yes or no? So directly from solid to gas, and then finally why they get stuck up again? It's because they get condensed. This is a cooler part, this is a hotter part. So directly from solid, आपको liquid नहीं दिखाई देगा इधर. It is solid over here. This is called sublimation. Fully. Yes. Next one.
Activity 1.11. Aim to show the factors affecting evaporation. Apparatus and chemicals. 5 ml of water, test tube, fan, china dish, cupboard. Procedure. Take 5 ml of water in a test tube and keep it near a window or under a fan. Take 5 ml of water in an open china dish and keep it near a window or under a fan. Take 5 ml of water in an open china dish and keep it inside a cupboard or on a shelf in your class. Record the room temperature. Record the evaporation process in above cases. Repeat the above 3 steps of activity on a daily day and record your observations. Observation. The rate of evaporation increases with an increase of surface area, increase of temperature, decrease in humidity, increase in wind speed. Conclusion. Thus, we conclude that above factors affect evaporation.
Right? Okay? Now, let us come to 13 तक हो गया था ना अपना? Right? Now, हम लोग को ये करना है. For example, here, question number 13 onwards till that is 14. 14 से लेके 25th, right? But some questions we will try to discuss now. 18 question देखो. This is going for homework. 13 से लेके 14 से लेके 25th. But how will you convert the following temperature to degrees Celsius? 293, you want to convert into degrees Celsius. What is the formula? Yes, minus 270. 470 Kelvin, minus 270. Convert temperature to Kelvin scale. 25 to Kelvin plus 270. Then question number 25. Right? 25 में क्या लिखा है? That diagrammatic question देखो. Name A, B, C, D, E, and F processes in the following diagram showing the change in its state. So suppose solid, liquid, or gas दिया है, and they are pointing, for example, first solid to liquid or A ऊपर लिखा है. So what is that? Melting process. फिर B कहाँ लिखा है? Liquid और gas के बीच में. इसका मतलब है it is boiling process. Yes or no? Or vaporization. Then C क्या लिखा है? Gas becoming back to liquid, cooling or condensation. Then D कहाँ लिखा है? Liquid और solid के बीच में. So that means it is freezing. But then E और F किधर लिखा है? Oh, E and F missing है इधर. ठीक है? हाँ?
Solid and gas.
अच्छा इधर नहीं लिखा है. ये okay. E is what is that? Solid to gas. It is sublimation. Right ना? And then gas to solid क्या हो जाएगा? Reverse. Desublimation. बराबर? Now let us come to questions which are there in this review questions. Okay? एक बार match the column कर दो. Matter, mass and volume. Yes or no? Second, ammonium chloride sublimate. Super excited particles, plasma. Pressure, Pascal. Weight, Newton. ठीक है ना? Then second match the columns. Evaporation, liquid into vapors. Sponge, solid. Spreading of virus on sneezing is diffusion. Right now? Then fusion is melting. Yes or no? Boiling fastest. What fast होता है? Right? Straight true and false. Materials have both mass and volume. True. Air, earth, sun, sky, and water are 5 elements of matter. No, sun is not there. Sun तो हम लोग body के बाहर है. Then matter is not continuous, made up of small particles. True or false? True. Right? Then particles of matter are stationary. No, they are continuously moving. Separation of particles of matter is called what? Diffusion. Yes or no? A gas is highly incompressible fluid. False. It's compressible. Then an increase in temperature changes liquid into gas. क्या हो सकता है? True. Evaporation of water is a bulk phenomenon. No. Surface phenomenon. In ice, the particles of water are close together and attracted to one another. True. Solids and liquids can be identified from the characteristic melting point and boiling point. True. Now come to the last set of questions for today. Okay, and what is that? ये आपको homework क्या है? All these review questions आपको पूरा review करना है, ठीक है ना? और कौन सा लिखना है? NCERT question from 14 to 25 तो लिख के लाना next time. Now application based question.
Sir, can 273.15?
But deviate being normally 273. So your teacher says 273.15 ले लो तो add कर. Yes,
it's not more than 0.1 more than 5. It's before the point. So on the ground
273 कर. Right ना? Then rounding of concept है वहाँ. इसलिए 273. तो 273.15 है ना? Odd number है. Odd number को हम लोग क्या करते हैं? Change नहीं करते. Right? Okay. My application based question. My brother pumped a lot of air in his bicycle tires. How could he do so? So application based question means हम लोग का family member question. Some family members involved also. Brother is involved, mother is involved, father is involved, right? Let us see. First, what is the answer? Air is highly compressible. That is, it can be made to occupy small space when compressed. Hence the above statement. Second, during certain festival seasons, the entire neighborhood is filled with the aroma sweets being prepared in different homes. How? This is because air contains particles filled with aroma sweets which get diffused into that. Which got diffused, which get diffused. I took 100 ml of water in a beaker and added it to it 75 ml of sugar. 75 ml नहीं होगा. इतना ज़्यादा sugar ml थोड़ी रहेगा, solid रहेगा ना. 1 gram लिखो, 1 gram of sugar, 1 g लिखो. The solution turns sweet, but the level 1 gram में 10 grams लिख सकते हो, ठीक है? The solution turns sweet, but the level of water in the beaker did not rise above 100 ml mark. Why? It's because sugar particles occupied intermolecular spaces in water, making it dense, but it did not increase the. Before we go for a long journey, my father checks the tire pressure after putting air in the tire. Why? It's because if the tires have got the correct air pressure in them in the car, the car will run smoothly. Otherwise, there is every chance of accident taking place. There is puncturing of tire, okay, bursting of tire. Honey is heavier than milk. Why? Honey has more particles of matter in per unit area. Okay, उसका density ज़्यादा है when compared to milk. Hence, it is heavier than milk and settle into water. Yes or no? When we add tea leaves to water, the entire water gets colored. Aishwarya, why? It is because of tea leaves when added to water, the color of water, entire water actually becomes brownish. What is the reason? Because colored particles of the tea leaves are continuously moving, right? And they disperse into the intermolecular spaces of water, coloring it completely. Yesterday, I bought 5 liters of milk in 1 liter packets and put them in the deep freezer of the fridge. The freezer was full. However, today I could put 2 kilogram paneer in it with, for example, 1/4 kilogram packets. How did I succeed in doing so? क्या हो गया? Yesterday हमने पैकेट डाला तो पूरा वो freezer अपना full हो गया था. But आज I could put paneer also inside. What is the reason? This is because the liquid has frozen, and therefore the intermolecular spaces between them has become smaller. Therefore, and they occupy less. So today I could put paneer also. I can stretch an elastic, but I cannot stretch water. Why? An elastic or a rubber band can be stretched within the limits of elasticity because the forces of attraction between rubber particles are still present. But if we stretch water, it breaks because our force is more than the force of attraction between the water molecules. Isn't it? वहाँ पे force of attraction किसका ज़्यादा है? Elastic, the material या rubber band का. But इधर force किसका ज़्यादा है? Our hand का. Yes or no? Our force is more than the force of attraction between water molecules. समझ में आया? Because rubber is a solid and our water is liquid. We know immediately that we are approaching a public urinal. What is the reason? The air surrounding the urinal is filled with the smell of urine, and the particles of air are in a continuous motion and therefore they diffuse and disperse in the atmosphere. That smell, and hence they reach our nostrils, and therefore we get the smell, okay, of near the public urinals. My mother uses naphthalene balls in a cupboard, right now. Why? Naphthalene balls supply giving off vapor which keeps the insects away from the cupboard because of what? That smell. And thus the clothes are protected due to sublimation of that particular naphthalene ball. So no solid is left behind and the clothes are not stained by naphthalene. But they are prevented from the insects bite, yes or no? Okay, otherwise what will happen? वो spoil कर सकते हैं, बराबर? ये हो गया अपना topic. Next time you'll have a test on this topic. Before we go for that next topic, ना, is matter around us pure? हम लोगों को क्या करना है? I'll tell you which question you have to select, which question you have to go for. ये देखो, पहले तो NCERT questions, right? Then question number, then 2014 से जो question दिया previous year's board question, page number 9, check कीजिए page number 9 वो question आपको पढ़ के आना है. Question number 10 NCERT तो आप कर ही रहे हैं, right? उसके बाद कौन सा है review questions आपको उन्होंने मैच कॉलम और ये कर दिया है. fill in the blanks आपको करना है. Multiple choice questions, small question का आंसर सब दिए है. Just go through reading को you have to do. Then long answers question, that also only reading has to be done. Okay, application based question we have discussed. That's all. और multiple choice question जो है, ठीक है, वो next time हम लोग क्लास में करेंगे. हाँ, ये multiple choice question है practical based. तो क्लास में डिस्कस होगा. उसके बाद हमारा नेक्स्ट लेक्चर के बाद हम लोग नया टॉपिक शुरू करेंगे. बिकॉज अच्छी तरह टॉपिक कंप्लीट करें. वी विल गिव अ क्लोजर प्रॉपरली टॉपिक को. ये तो टॉपिक अपसेट हो गया, ठीक है. तो क्लोजर कैसे करेंगे? मल्टीपल चॉइस एंड यू टू गिव द आंसर्स, ठीक है. टाइम हो गया, कितना बज रहा है? ओह 2 minutes. 2 minutes, just close your eyes, relax for 2 minutes, ठीक है. आंख बंद करके रिलैक्स करो और ब्रीदिंग वहां पे पैटर्न अपना फॉलो करो और थोड़ा सो जाओ. Yes. Huh? All these questions which I told now, any question can come, but they are similar. Only thing is what? Just title different. हाँ, old one. So just read करके और ये question बस करके आना बस. Okay? Sure. Thank you very much. Next time we'll have to.
With nuts. Yeah.